Thank you very much, and thanks to the presenters, um, Moha and Zain, and it really gave me a good perspective. And actually, I'm going to quickly move to what been asked for me to center on women problems in Egypt and how vulnerable, and also what are the uh, policy tracker to help them get out, or how the women influence. I'll just go and speak immediately about Egypt's hidden pandemic, which is domestic violence. This is domestic violence on the rise during the COVID-19, um, and this is actually needs the help of all sectors, and state sectors. I mean here the government, as well as the NGOs, as well of course as the most important center. We have the National Council for Women, and well the policies, and with the help of the government, what to do in order to help women, because as we know that in most cultures women are most vulnerable when at times of pandemics or economic crisis. Well, in Egypt we have little data is available on how the pandemic and the subsequent economic crisis had affected each social sector, let alone of course women here. But particularly when it comes to healthcare, affordable medicine, education, as well as a lack of ability to social distance, that have undoubtedly placed some people at disadvantage, or at risk to be able to take this COVID-19, or to it's very contagious to them. Uh, uh, in fact, I wanted just to refer to one incident here, and then I'll talk about the NCW, which is the National Council for Women, and what they did along with the government, and the measures they took to reinforce protection, and provide advice, as well as to provide help to women. Particularly, I mean, all sectors of women, by the way, not only the poor ones, also those who are working, the working ones in the government, or in the private sector as well. But this incident is very interesting because it's about sexual harassment, and that took really was like occupying the mind of the public sphere for some time now, for 10 days. And it's about a guy who really had been sexually harassed or raped even some girls and women. Interestingly enough here, that one woman started to say what happened to her, and started a lawsuit. And it's like a row here behind that girls as well, and some girls and some women said the same with this guy. I don't know, he is newly graduate from the American University in Egypt, but actually there are a lot of lawsuits, and the idea is that this is a very sensitive issue in our culture, and usually whatever had happened to you, you never talk about it, but this is what had happened, which helped really the National Council for Women to take certain measures, and very aggressive, as well as to ask for aggressive penal codes. I mean, against sexual harassments, and the whole society as well have been, even including men as well, have been so much involved in something like this. But let me go quickly to the what actually the National Council for Women been taking as policies here, and these policies actually is mainly in the health sector and education, as well as in social protection. Women Voice and the agency, I mean here, leaning to eliminating violence against women, and women leadership and representation. This was now is getting more enforced now. We're raising this issue of women representation, not only in the parliament, which is 25, going to be 25%, but it's in all sectors of the society. Impact on economic opportunities for women, promoting data and knowledge. And this is because we do have data predicament, actually lack of data, and this is something very important that it is now getting very important to record data for women on what's going on actually to women. Um, Actually, the government, notably the government stimulus package, provide more incentives for sectors that have highly female labor force participation, such as tourism and agriculture, increasing the payment to women community leaders in rural areas, increase the number of households. There is a program called Tactful and Karama, and this is a program, by the Minister of National Solidarity, that the government and the president himself is really, President Sisi is really supporting highly. This additional, this is added to almost 100,000 households, wherein over 80% of recipients of the tactful program are women, 80%, and includes clients of micro finance sector in the Central Bank of Egypt, a decision to delay loans installment, wherein women constitute over 70% of this microfinance clients. Um, Early in March, I mean that's late March, a decree was issued by the Prime Minister to reduce the number of employees in the public sector. The decree included protections such as granting pregnant employees and working mothers whose children are under 12 years old exceptional leave throughout the decree's implementation period. In line with all these decisions, the National Council for Women hotline has announced receiving complaints from female workers in the public. I mean, you still receive complaints even though you have this government decree. And actually, I will not take much because I wanted to talk more, but I didn't have enough time about the measures that the government is taking. Actually, there's still, these measures are under study, and I don't have enough information for them, but mainly, as I said, in the sector of education and healthcare. And I think women are willing also to help each other, and this is something very important, and this is what we find actually lately and in the TV. There are women are talking about if there is any complaints, if women need any help, and also interesting that the women are to help others. I mean, this is again a community building here area that women are taking charge of that. Thank you very much. That my presentation is very short, but I think if you have, it can raise questions that I answer.